and everybody, and welcome to another Smoke and Mirrors. This episode is brought to you by Healed Masculinity. Healed Masculinity. The world could use a little bit more. And now, here's a song. Engine number 9 on my New York Transit line. And if that train come off the track, we'll pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. And now here they are, your invenerable host, Carlos Karim Wyndham. Black sheep. Joshua on the Glockenspiel, let y'all know it's real. How you doing to very day? It is indeed sweater season. It seems like it is winter. Winter's here. That's the thing that nerds were saying a couple of years ago, and I don't know why, because I never watched Incest and Dragons. It wasn't on my watch list. Hey, shout out to you. Shout out to all the folks who were here. Shout out to Joshua, the intern, producer Tracy. And today, Fatima is back on the set. We brought the whole team. As you may or may not know, a certain op-ed was published in The Guardian after our Chappelle episode last Thursday. And since then, we have gotten quite a lot of fan mail and quite a few new fans. So if any of them decide to show up uninvited in the chats or act like they're not new here today, we will we've got Fatima over there prepared to do the job. You ready? Okay, we're good. We're good. Don't play. Okay. Hey, want to let you know about a thing before we get into the thing, and we'll let you see what it is. It's a thing that I'm doing. It's Beyond DEI, confronting white affirmative action in professional spaces. This is a 3-part workshop that is being offered by myself and Teresa Logan. And we are going to be doing it up beginning on this Wednesday. Today is the last day that you can register. But you know what? If you cannot make it this Wednesday, if you cannot make it to this series will happen again. And there are many future series, especially our fall and winter offerings, available on the website. Go ahead and check it out at Subduction Consulting. And just flip around there for a little bit. You'll find out what we're doing. That's what you do. We're doing a corner. Why not? Let's do a corner. Let's do some music. Let's get into some music. Music is fun. We tried last time to just have some fun. We were doing comedy corner. We were doing giggles and laughs, culture corner. And man, it got super serious to the degree that when we tried to go ahead and share the video with more people, that Facebook and the Facebook cops said no, because you're doing politics. But we weren't. We do comedy, we do culture, we do blackness. But they thought that it might raise some political hackles to talk about transphobia. But we're not going to do that today. We're going to talk about music, because that's not political. Let's take a hit and get ready. For anyone who's new today, this is Smoke and Mirrors, and that is a double entendre. Certainly it is about smoking and how good I look in a mirror, but it is also about getting behind the smoke and mirrors that society would present to us. Not in a Kyrie Irving, the earth is flat, but basketball still work way, but in a hey, let's get into some of the nuance of what there is in the world. Let's use critical thinking and let's apply it to anything. And today, we'll just take a voyage back in time. We'll do some nostalgia. Nothing could be toxic about nostalgia, right? So, music. Let's get into it. Hey, the year was 1988, and on the charts, what we heard was Hard Knock Life. That was man, it was popping all over the place. Absolutely loved it. Joshua, what are we doing? You got jokes. Come on. Thank you. Jay-Z's Hard Knock Life was what was happening on the charts. For any of our viewers who are maybe not Gen Xers and didn't know that, Beyonce's husband was an MC and a rapper of some note in the late 90s and late 80s and in 98, not 80. Joshua, could you get the notes right, please? 1998, Hard Knock Life was all over the radio. Was all over the radio doing big things. Also in 1998, we learned who Monica Lewinsky is. Monica Lewinsky, whose name I shouldn't know, because frankly, it's none of my business or yours, was somebody who it was framed in the 90s as had an affair with Bill Clinton, the 42nd president of the United States. Thing is that given the power dynamic, she was an intern. He was the president. He was the president. Oh, look at this. He's got us on it, huh? There's the hit from 88. We're 98. We're done. Joshua, thank you, Itzy. Thank you for the involvement. Appreciate it. Lewinsky, we learned about a very famous dress that had on it presidential jism. And we learned this because the then wife of the president, I believe one Senator Clinton, was very upset at the fact that her philandering husband had philandered again. And so the young woman was put on blast. Now, in retrospect, had an affair, again, as I was saying, that's a strong phrase for what was really just 2 years outside of statutory rape. And by today's workplace dynamics would get you fired. It did not. It did not. It got him a slap on the wrist. It got him a spanking, not the kind you might like, and it ruined decades of her life as she became the punchline and butt of a lot of jokes that really meant that America was punching down at folks with more power, with less power than those with more, and taking the position of millionaires who don't need us to defend them And I'm sure would be quite irritated to know that the poors were if they felt for one second that anything transactional was going to happen behind that. Because it's not. It's not. Hey, he was buddies with this one guy. I don't know if you know this guy. This guy's Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein had a secret island where he had underage women. There's another phrase for that. Underage women. Girls. He kept girls, young girls, children, really. And they would bring them out to this island after they had been groomed, and would then have them sleep with his very famous and very rich friends. And it seems that in recent papers that have come out, the Pandora Papers, that maybe this particular 42nd president may have visited that island upwards of 17 times, perhaps more. And perhaps it was just for the cognac and the cigars. A gross joke that you understand if you were there in the 90s. Hey, I don't know if you know this or remember, because time is fucked up now, and I don't know. This other guy was president. It feels like 8 million years ago. Really, it was only in January. And he, while he was president, Jeffrey Epstein was in prison, and then Jeffrey Epstein was not any longer in prison because he was dead, and is said to allegedly have committed suicide. But he was on suicide watch, but the guards just kind of weren't watching. Or somebody was watching real close, and he didn't commit suicide. I don't know. Point being, he's dead now. But you know what? Who's not dead is his girlfriend, Maxwell, right there with him, who may have softened up some of the and groomed some of the girls that they brought to this fancy pants island to then have sex with these old men, like the 42nd president. That's the 46th president, who also really, 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 really liked these guys. Really good friends with Epstein, and wished Giselle Maxwell well when she went to prison for sex trafficking, which, as we all know, is when you wish a person well, when they are imprisoned for trafficking sex people. The way that people, which we can understand, right? The way people defended the R. Kelly and the Michael Jackson and the Bill Cosby and the Louis C.K. It's almost like we don't give a shit about girls or women who don't want to indulge in the patriarchy. It's almost like that. Almost. There they are. Isn't that cute? Anyway, they both went to prison, and he's dead, and she's not yet. And the 46th president wished her well, and the 42nd president was friends with them, and it's a hard knock life for us. It's a hard. He had a lot of rich friends. He had a lot of super rich friends at a time. Spate of them. One of the a spate of friends. I think that's the word. Spate. Jesus Cristo. That's a lot of people who we now know are predators and creeps who were closely associated with Jeff Epstein, but some people still are looking to defend them. You know what's gonna? You know what? Let's do this. Let's talk about some more music. But before we do that, let's take a smoke break. Do you have a bevy? Do you have a bevy for yourself? Please do some self-care. Replenish your fucks. If you have a nice warm fuck inside, you have a nice warm fuck to give, isn't it? And giving a fuck is what it's all about. I want to just let you know that this here is Smoke and Mirrors. This is what we do here at around 420 twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. And there are so many ways you could support it if this is anything of import to you. Not that it should be. What's important? Define important when we're living in a pandemic. That's its own challenge. But if this is important to you and you wanted to support it, there are so many ways. The first would just go like and subscribe, of course. And then if you wanted to throw like $2 at it or even $5 on it, you could do that at the Venmo at Carlos-Wyndham. You could do that at the Cash App at $CK Wyndham. Or you could even do that at the PayPal /me.CK Wyndham. And certainly, we would love for you to become a patron over at the Patreon at Smoke and Mirrors CCB. I haven't done this in a long time. I'm going to do it. Here we go. Let's go old school. Like Ruthie, Erica, Amber, Aaron, Seth, Lisa, Kristen, Renisa, Michael, Natalie, Juliet, Tarika, Tracy, Venus, Jen, Tink, Joe, Kelly, Jorge, Joe K, Tracy, Alice, Raven, and Dana have done one breath. One breath. That is that's Jay-Z level skills of announcing. Anyway, the year was later, round 92. And the top song on the charts was Blow Your Mind. Officially Blow Your Mind by Eve. And what Eve did was a very savvy thing on this track. This is after TLC had learned a lesson in their quest to win a Grammy that would have been well-deserved for Waterfalls, that racist white radio is not that interested in a black girl rapping unless there's some singing on it, and it needs to be a lot of it. And so where TLC was on the radio also with a version of Waterfalls, and one of the verses that is probably one of the most heartfelt of Lisa Left Eye Lopez's career, having been taken off of the radio edit, as most rappers were back in the day, because white supremacy, Eve decided, I am going to, instead of having just a soul singer sing the hook a la Diddy, I'm going to go ahead and bring on a blue-eyed soul singer a la Gwen Stefani. And man, oh man, oh man, it worked. Get yourself a number one. Get yourself a number one. Music. Hey, you know, I don't know if you know Gwen Stefani. Gwen Stefani later went on to have her own Chola hit. Stephanie. Gwen Stefani is it. After she was done being down with blacks, after she had already chased her and caught and wrestled to the ground, and then gutted, and then and kind of like pulled out its innards and cooked it, and like painted her face with the blood, the clout from Eve. She decided to chase some Chola clout, and she got a hit of her own. Got a hit of her own that was Bananas, Bananas. NAS with the help of Pharrell. Also, hey, congratulations to Gwen Stefani. Gwen Stefani, on her marriage to Blake Shelton. That's a handsome couple. Speaking of handsome couples, that happened in 1992. Well, Virginia Giuffre was raped several times by Prince Andrew that year. Prince Andrew, seen here, having made a widow. Seems that the MPs are gonna go. The Met Police are gonna go ahead and close the case. Close the case that was brought, and they are not going to investigate any further. And they would like to move on now. But also, there is still a civil case against your mans. There's no longer a criminal case, but there's still a civil case, which is sort of what happened. You may remember with O.J. Simpson when he cut that white girl's head off and stabbed her very athletic boyfriend to death. Is that the gloves did not fit, and so they did acquit. And then when they did acquit, that the civil case is where there was some penance that happened in that case. So there's a civil case. There's not a criminal case any longer against Prince Andrew. Oh, also, nobody at the castle wants him there. Like, everybody's through with this fucker except for his mommy. It's weird. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned this. The Giuffre was actually introduced to Prince Andrew on the island of Epstein after she had been groomed by Maxwell, she said. So, kind of the same thing that happened here with our president, who also had a girl given to him. It almost seems like there's some sort of like international cabal of sex trade that's happening at the political level that I don't know, people of the moral majority or minority would be worried about or concerned about. I don't know. I don't know if that. They're not keeping these kids in a pizza parlor, are they? They're not. They're definitely not. What's the conspiracy? Oh, rich people are awful. Oh. Yeah, but not all of them. Some of them are really nice. Oh, you have to be awful to get that rich. Oh, you have to be even worse to stay rich? Joshua, is that what the research says? Huh. That's a bummer. Well, when we get rich, we're not. What? We're not getting rich. What's happened? Why? Oh, nobody is. Oh, the aristocracy is going to keep all of their wealth, and they're going to keep doing this and keep letting off the ones who are actually guilty and then assassinating the ones who they can imprison, but imprisoning the other ones and just putting them under the jail, especially if they're women who were involved? Huh. Well, that seems sexist. That's part of the patriarchy? Well, fuck the patriarchy then. That seems stupid. Joshua's done some good research today. My goodness, thank you. All right, well, let's keep the. Oh, yeah. His whole defense, Prince Andrew, is being paid for by the Queen, who would also like you to forget that this is happening and would like to just move on. Now that she's got the dark baby, who was almost a mochaccino shade out of the castle and out of the family, and excommunicated them and kept all of their money and their title, that she is using hers to defend her rapist's son. Because whiteness. And the rich keep doing this for themselves and each other. And then punch down at the poor. Obviously at the at girls and women. And God forbid they be brown or black, because you would never hear their names. 64,000 black girls currently missing in the United States, and the women on top, if they are wealthy, are going to protect the other wealthy, which is why you find yourself in circumstances where people are getting paid upwards of $60 million to give you 4 specials defending their transphobia, where they cap it off with the idea of don't punch down on my people. Their people being the very wealthy. But cancel culture, I guess. This has been another Smoke and Mirrors. What a good time we have here. Good gosh, it's fun. Hey, do you like what we do here? Well, you know, there's so many places you can continue to support us that have absolutely nothing to do with a financial investment. One, just go ahead and give us some clicks over at the IG. That's IG at Smoke and Mirrors. CCB, that CCB, again, is for comedy, culture, and blackness. And if you'd like to, I don't know, look at some tweets to upset yourself for some reason, go ahead and come over to Twitter. Twitter is at Caballo Negrito. Twitter at Caballo Negrito for the monolingual amongst us. Caballo Negrito translates literally to Gwen Stefani is a chola. Caballo Negrito, Gwen Stefani is a chola. Hey, do you have a thought, query, question, or suggestion for a guest who should be here with us for a conversation underneath the philosopher's tree? Well, hey, you know what you could do? You could go ahead and shoot that over to smokeandmirrorsccb@gmail.com. That would be the way that you would deal with that. This is produced and hosted by myself and who is this produced by? By myself and Tracy Tatamy, of course, the intern Joshua, and yes, we do have Venmo. Absolutely, you can Venmo anything you want to over to Carlos Wyndham. You can Venmo us over at Carlos Wyndham. We would appreciate that. That's dropping $5 on it. And I don't know, take care of yourself, take care of each other. Go get a vaccine. Do that. All right, we love you. Okay, bye bye. Hey, quick thing. The thing about cancel culture, there's no such thing. There's no such thing as cancel culture. You can't do that. When Dave Chappelle said he was worried that we were going to cancel the baby because of his homophobia, like for us, I don't know who we are who was going to cancel the baby. I guess it's the queers. But if we were going to cancel the baby, that would mean that we would stop buying his music, which would suggest that we were buying it, which we're not. And so, well, lesbians are. Some lesbians are. Some hardcore lesbians are in fact, queer women are buying some of the baby's music. Let me take that back. I don't think we're going to cancel them, though. Cancel culture is not a thing. Stop saying that. You sound like an old man shaking your fist at clouds. Go away, rain! Go away! Arrgh.